guys, Isabella here and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, as you guys can tell, we're going to be doing another reactionary video to a Monet Zoom call. What is so special about this Zoom call? Well, I'm glad you asked. Today's Zoom call is actually one that was pulled from Christy Stone, who is a massive top leader of Monet. This was pulled from one of her team trainings, and someone I'm very thankful for sent this my way, and I was like, oh my god, you're an angel, thank you. So we're actually able to dive into what some of these top leaders are training people, and we are going to put this out here for the world to see. So yeah, let's watch this video.
And I was like, oh yeah, last month was a little slow. And he's like, what are you mad about? You made more this month than you used to make a year before. And I'm like, you know what? You're so right. Like, talk about an amazing opportunity. But guys, it wasn't always glamorous. I always say, success isn't built with glamour. Success isn't built in the good times. It's easy to be, successful and excited and, a good leader when everything's going great. When we went through a bubble of a year with a pandemic where the fish were literally jumping on the boat, right? Everybody wanted to be a part of network marketing when they had nothing to do at home. And then the bubble, it popped. Right? And everyone now is like, well, I'm struggling. I don't know what to do. How do I rebuild it? I'm like, babe, you gotta go to work. You gotta get obsessed. Christy's absolutely right. Guys, I was obsessed. Like, when I'm telling you, I joined this to spend more time with my mom, and I barely even saw my mom for the first year and a half I was doing this business.
Woo! And there it fucking is. We have, wow, okay. She's talking about how Christy says you need to be obsessed with the business, which I think can be very alarming. It's one thing to be really into what you're doing, but being like obsessed in an unhealthy manner is problematic. But then now we're getting into this conversation where she said, I was obsessed. I started this to literally get closer to my mother, but the first year of me doing this, I hardly saw her. The entire time that I've done YouTube, for example, have I put in stupid amounts of time? Yeah. Have I still seen my family and been able to function? I know this one's gonna throw people. I sure fucking was able to, because I don't work for a pyramid scheme. Anyway.
I was literally on a call working my full time, and if I did see her, I was like this the whole time. Me and my fiance broke up for a year, guys.
What the fuck? We're barely in. My god, why would you ever train this? A minute and 9 seconds in, and she's like, my fiance and I broke up for a year. Because of this? I'm just telling you right now, no job is worth a partner like that. Literally, if I am never able to be a good partner or a present partner at that, I don't think I should be doing that. Oh my, Liz, you broke up with your partner? Oh my God.
Instagram in 2020, I was like, yo perreo sola, single life. And then next thing you know, I'm like, here I am, with a huge rock in my finger. And everyone's like, where did this guy come from? Well, you know what? Me growing my business caused us to separate a little bit, right? And it caused us to break up, but here we are. Because you know what? Consistency was key. Growth was key. In my personal relationship.
If you have shitty relationships, absolutely been there, done that. It is the biggest blessing on earth to get out of a horrifically toxic relationship. But she's using this as a part of a training and to be like, well, when you grow in your business, it makes other things separate and leave you. Like, if it was a bad relationship, I'm glad you're out, babe. If you literally just internally separated from other people because of the business, that's terrifying.
In my business, so yeah, guys, this is literally like, we're just getting started. March, April, Christy was like, March and April are going to set the whole year. Yeah, guys, every month sets the whole year. Okay. You should be working this business with consistency and urgency every single day. You should wake up and be enthusiastic, be happy, have the same excitement on your.
Literally, no, you should not have to work this all the time, every day, and not have time freedom. But these same people that are like, oh my God, time freedom, are the same people that are really on this damn call or teaching themselves saying no time freedom. This is the culty, terrifying shit that exists in Monet. Monet is such a fucked up company. Let's get that out of the way. But just the trainings on this from a team that is so well-known, that has a leader that is so well-known. There you go.
Best day than you do on your worst day. Guys, we're in network marketing. We get paid to literally talk to people every day and build new networks. People are like, oh, I exhausted my hot market. I exhausted my warm market. Go make new friends. Go stand in line next to the person at Starbucks and tell them, babe, your hair looks absolutely amazing. Okay, I would love to talk to you about what I do. Guys, I didn't get here because every day was beautiful, rainbows and butterflies.
If someone walked up to me in a Starbucks line and complimented me, which, okay, cool, you can compliment people, I do that all the time. But then you proceed to pitch to them your pyramid scheme, I'd be pissed.
Rainbows and butterflies. I have been through hell and back. I have fallen 1,000,000 times and I've gotten up 1,000,001. Okay, so when you see me here, don't think like, oh, I can't achieve that. I can't get to that. You guys are all leaders, right? That's what Christy told me was a call for leaders. I want you to understand that leaders go through bad shit. Okay, I lost my rank. I lost 3,000 people from my team. I've been laughed at. I've been ridiculed. I get cyberbullying messages. You know, people literally used to tell me I was crazy. Remember when I joined Monet, it was May of 2018. You know, all those crazy lawsuits that are all bullshit that you guys now get to say that's from like 3 years ago. Well, when I joined, that had just happened. Okay. Literally. Add on to that, I was, you know, one of the first leaders really in Miami. So nobody had a car. Nobody was a director. Nobody really believed in what Monet was. So people tell me like, oh, you had it so easy because you were there at the beginning. Number one, I wasn't there at the beginning. We're all here at the beginning, right? Because we're just now getting started. But I literally had to work, I think, twice as hard. What Christy was talking about, that she was not all in, it's so true. I used to get so mad at her. I'd be like, Christy, come on. Like, by the way, the day she went to the Trace thing, she had just hit founder. That's why I was so mad at her. I'm like, girl, you're posting Trace and you just became a Monet founder. Like, talk about that, right? So imagine I had to sell that dream. I had to sell that passion to so many people. And you guys are so lucky and so blessed because you guys have a...
She's vocally stating she had to sell a dream and a lifestyle to people when it did not exist yet. Wow. So no one in Miami, or whatever the hell for that matter, no one in her area really had much experience or connection to it, but she had to sell it and make it a reality and pretty much fake it, from what I'm getting from this, to people so they would join.
Amazing leaders that sell you that every single day, okay? That really just like push you to level up and to grow every single day. They host events for you guys. They have onboardings, they have trainings, they have calls. I mean, anything, you name it, it's there. Guys, when I started, we didn't have that. My first client, I sold the first day I joined. I sold her retail because I had no idea, you know, what VIP even was. And I sold her the purple shampoo and conditioner as her only shampoo because I didn't know that that was only meant to be used once a week. Her hair literally got drier and whiter by the day on Instagram. I was like, oh my God, I never sold her anything else. I never came clean about the fact that I royally screwed up my first sale. But you know what? I got my first sale in. Okay. So when I first joined, we didn't have onboarding. We didn't have all this stuff. This is all now done by me.
Oh my God. She says that she royally screwed up her first sale. But I got my first sale. I would never be harping on that. Like, if you fucked up, you fucked up. And if you like acknowledge that and improve, great. But the fact that you're like, I at least got my first sale. Using purple shampoo all the time is not the healthiest from what I've seen. I think this also shows how there's a lack of actual true hair education and understanding in regards to selling of products and everything. So that's why I will always recommend professionals. If anything, at least I would recommend other professionals on YouTube, for example, other people at least that can share their experiences that don't have a drive to recruit you in a pyramid scheme. It wasted that customer money. Like, that's not a funny thing of like, oh, I made my first sale. That poor woman was out of money and it fucked her hair. How is that in any way a funny thing or a good thing to include on this?
But your leaders who every single day, you know, push you to be better. Okay, guys, this is a very simple business. Again, all you have to do is go make new connections. All you have to do is wake up every day and have the mindset to succeed and to win. Wake up every single day and tell yourself, I am going to show up no matter what. The majority of the time, like, I'm going through personal stuff and people don't even notice. The first time I was ever top 20 income earner was November of 2019. Okay. That's the month that I split up with my now fiance. I moved into an apartment by myself. I had no furniture. Literally Thanksgiving, I was like laying in bed. All I had was a bedroom set. My mom was like texting me, come over, are you suicidal? I'm like, no girl, I'm fine. I just want to be alone, right? Guys, I had a car accident that same month where my car literally caught on fire. I almost died. But you guys would have never known because I didn't go out there and express that. This business was what kept me going every single day.
So I get if you don't want to share all of your personal life on the internet. That's okay. That is perfectly fine. You have every right to do that. But also, there's nothing wrong with sharing perfect moments on social media. That's okay. I feel like this is also excessively culty because she immediately switches to saying she broke up with her fiance, now she's back with him again. And she goes on to say this business was what kept her going. That is so dangerous that you're spreading that type of information to other people because it gives them hope that this business will provide everything they need and more. That is, like, literally, you cannot tell me this isn't a cult. You cannot tell me, wow.
No matter what happens or what life throws my way, I am always going to get up and I'm going to push myself, okay? Having this business really has been a blessing for me and, you know, going through hard times and hard situations because I know that I have to show up and lead by example. Okay. That's one thing that I think sometimes we miss. You know, we'll get to the big rings, we'll get to the success, and then we stop showing up. We stop, doing the things that got us there to begin with. And we don't realize that we can't ask our team to do what we're not doing ourselves. If you've ever been in a leadership call with me, I always say you have to qualify for every trip. You have to bring new market partners in every single month, new VIPs every single month. You have to lead by example. You have to be all over social media. You have to become the market partner that you want to be, because your vibe really does attract your tribe, right? So again, going back to how simple this is, what do you have to do? You have to wake up every day, and no matter what life is throwing at you, you have your period, you got into a fight with your boyfriend, you hate your upline, you hate your downline, you want a new team, you just feel like being home. It doesn't matter. Just go get it done. People ask me like, how do you, inspire yourself? How do you get up every day? How did you make it happen, with working, a full-time job for a year? Guys, I wish I had a better answer. I just did.
That is a very sad mentality to push, and it literally plays into the concept of this whole hustle culture. It's one thing to work your ass off and really, do everything you can to make your dream become a reality, but we've hit a point, I feel like, in our society where it's pushed that taking breaks is bad, taking naps is negative. If you're not working all the time, you're a lazy person. If I want to hop out and not do this, if I want to take a break, I can and I will. And it's very important. And I feel like that is something that needs to be like always focused on in regards to growing a business, entrepreneurship, anything. I don't think this is growing your business or entrepreneurship, but I will say that the mentality should always be, I can take breaks, because how in the world are you supposed to be a good leader or a successful person and you can accomplish all these things if you're so utterly fucking drained that you cannot do anything? Think about it. The majority of people that are on this call are people that are not making a lot of money. They are not doing well financially with this company. More than likely, the chances of that are slim to none for them to actually do well with this. So teaching people to not only sacrifice money and not do well with this financially and possibly go into debt over it, but to further push the fact that they need to ignore anything negative going on in their life and be obsessed with Monet and work it. That is such a mess. Like, I can't even imagine experiencing that.
Right? Like, you can't teach that, like, wanting to get up every day and be better. Nobody can teach you that. Christy can't teach you that. Your upline can't teach you that. I can't teach you that. Angie can't teach you that. That has to come from you. Okay. So mindset's going to be number one, and number two is going to be consistency. What are you doing every single day to grow your business? Okay. This is a business that, again, we work online. And if you've decided to do this full time, you know that the challenge that comes with doing this full time is how much time you actually have in your hands. Okay. So what are you actually doing with your day? Are you getting in your 10 connections every single day? Are you hosting a training for your team? Are you reaching out to your team? Are you checking in on your numbers? Okay. Are you prepared to win every single day? And I know this sounds simple, and I'm sure this has been talked about a million times over, but guys, it's because it's really what you need to be successful. You have to wake up every day and do the IPAs, income producing activities, that are going to get you to where you want to be. Okay. I always say success isn't built on social media. I love social media. I love it. You guys, when I first joined Monet, I had 500 Instagram followers. My page was literally pictures of my dogs and memes. Like, if you scroll down to like my first picture ever, you're going to see, I'm not lying, it's a picture of my Boston Terrier, because that's literally all I would post. Okay. Social media has helped me build my business tremendously. But you know what? You being on social media every single day isn't going to get your team to rank, isn't going to get your team to learn new things. Okay. So yeah, success is built in the streets, in the calls, in the power hours. I love that you guys are doing a blitz. That is amazing. I want to hear more about that, Christy, after we get off the call. But that's what you should be doing. I always tell everybody, like, you want to be successful, work your business every day, pay yourself first. Okay. And, do a personal power hour for yourself. Make sure that you're reaching out to your potentials, that you're following up. Success is in the follow up. Make sure that you're planning your social media content. Okay. I don't know if, Christy, you have a social media calendar for them, but I have one that I'll be more than glad to share. I think maybe Angie has shared it before, but social media isn't always just money 24/7 either. Sometimes I'm looking through people's stories and all I see is money. And I'm like, oh my God, if I'm bored and I do money and I'm like, miss money, like I can't imagine people that are, that are following you that don't even do money. Like, what are they going to think? Right. So make sure that you're working your business with intention also, that we are putting out there is showing value. You want to show value to people. You want to create the FOMO. But again, not just through social media, you want to do those trainings. You want to do the daily power hour for yourself. Okay. The company tells us that we should all be hitting minimum MMP every single month. It doesn't matter what rank you're in. Okay. With new people. So I've developed this little strategy that I like to pass down, in that, MMP is 1,200 points every single month, right? So you're going to divide that by 4 weeks. That's 300 points a week. That's going to be one market partner with a $200 pack, the most simple pack, and one VIP buying the bare minimum $84. Right? So I always tell myself, okay, am I having enough conversations in the week where I am going to be able to hit MMP this month?
That is insane. That's insane. So a bare minimum, she says that the company wants you to essentially hit MMP. So it would be a market partner every single week, and then a person who purchases some products that's a bare minimum of $84. How realistic is that? Like, let's actually genuinely think about how realistic is it to have people purchase $84 worth of shampoo or whatever at random. So how many people does this person, for example, need to message and cold message for example, in order to hit those. How many people are going to tell her no or ignore the DM? This is a very, like, I just can't believe that this is how they want you to do well. The real businesses, other companies with products, they market off their products and their products are good and they don't have to cold message people. They don't have to do that to bring in sales because their marketing is exceptional. Whereas this, your version of marketing is cold messaging people, sounding desperate essentially, trying to get them to either join the business or buy products from you.
With brand new people, right? If I'm having 10 convos minimum, okay, minimum a day, let's just say we're skipping Sundays. That's 60 convos a freaking week. You're gonna tell me that out of 60 people, two are like, one isn't gonna buy and one isn't gonna join? That's BS. Of course they are. The difference between people that are crushing it all the time is not because they have, more followers or because they have better luck. It's because they're working harder. I hate when people give me like, oh, I don't have enough followers excuse, guys. I didn't either. Okay. One beautiful thing about our business is that it doesn't matter how many followers you have. Everyone stands or starts at an even playing field. Okay. You might have someone that has 5 million followers, but they have no mindset. They lack the leadership, skills and trainings. They can sign up 300 people in their first month and no one's going to rank because they don't know how to teach a duplicatable system. So get that I don't have followers out of your head. Okay. This is going to be built in, the daily tasks. This business is going to be built on what you teach people how to do every single day. So again, I personally love that, 1 MP, 1 VIP per week, because that also gets the people that are coming into your organization who are not runners, like it gives them like, a time, not a time frame, but I guess instructions on how to do it, right? Ray Higdon, who is, I'm not a huge fan of his work, but he has some good stuff. He says that 87% of the people that you bring onto your organization are in it to make from $0 to $200. So think about that. That's the market partners that you bring in that they're like, oh yeah, I signed up. What? A VIP? What? Smart Start? Oh, flash sale. Like that's 87% of the people you bring in. 10% are in it to make from $200 to $5,000. That's going to be the people that get to MMB all the way to MM, maybe even MMM. Okay. And then 3% are in it to be millionaires. That's going to be your directors. Okay.
Okay. So she's talking about people that join and the percentages of people that want to earn specific amounts of money, and how 87% or around 80 something percent are people who genuinely want to just make only a couple $100 or so, maybe a month. But it's ironic to me because let's look at the Monet income disclosure statement real fast. 2020 Monet income disclosure statement is showing that the median annual gross earnings for market partners, for just the main market partner, which is 92.26% of people in the company, made nothing. 3.78% who were MMP, managing market partner, made a median of $1,815 annually. So again, if people want to make a couple $100 a month or so, that is not happening for majority of people. This income disclosure statement shows the income potential is dog shit. I'm amazed at this because, again, if it's one thing if people are getting properly compensated for their time, it's one thing if people are actually getting paid properly, but that is not happening. But it's so nasty to me because this woman is vocalizing that she knows most people are not going to want to make a lot of money, but she also knows the income disclosure statement as well. And we're getting people to join it even though they're not going to make a lot of money at all.
So what does that tell me? Once I heard that statistic, and I heard it in my first Monations, my first year, 2018, what did that tell me? That's really where onboarding was born out of, okay? I know that if I recruit 100 people, I'm going to have 3 directors, okay? I'm going to have 10 that are going to be MMB plus, and I'm going to have 87 who aren't going to do anything or are going to get to, just a first rank MMP. So I need to make sure, because I know that 3%, they're going to.
She knows that she's going to have people that are going to not rank or do well, but she needs to at least, because she knows that she's going to benefit from that.
Going to join? Exactly. I love that they're saying I'm the 3%. Yes, you are. That 3% is going to join, and that's going to be the market partner that doesn't need you. They don't ask you to get on calls. They don't ask you for anything. You just give them the initial resources and they take off with the business. 10% is going to be a little more involved with you, so they're going to know what to do and they're going to get it when you explain it to them. But again, remember, 87% has no idea. So ask yourself, okay, how do I make 87% of the people that I bring in, the majority of the people I bring in, understand what they need to do? Again, I love that, 1 VIP, 1 MP per week. That's going to get you to MMP. I love that because I'm a numbers person, so it's easy for me to understand.
I like this a little bit better in regards to how she's explaining it versus some other calls. And the reason being is most of the time it's strictly inspirational speaking in regards to these calls. So we don't have any step-by-step plan. That's good to show a step-by-step plan is, okay, in order to do this, you need to have 1 VIP, which looks like it's an auto ship, I believe, that is purchasing constantly, something like that. I keep forgetting, but a VIP, because there is some renewal, something that they have to pay or spend, and then also somebody that is recruited into the business. You can tell somebody to do that, but how realistic is it?
But feel free to take that, either, take that on for you or build from that, right? At the end of the day, duplicatable system, but you get to add your own sauce to it. I also created, I hope Andy shared it with you guys, it's like a daily task calendar, okay? Because I was like, man, I'm sick and tired of people coming to me and telling me I don't know what to do with my day. Super simple. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna read 10 pages in a book. You're gonna listen to a podcast, because you know what? You can't pour from an empty cup. I actually took that from Christy. That's the first time I ever heard someone say that. And it's so true. If you're not, again, becoming the market partner with the right mindset, you can't teach them the right mindset. Then you're gonna put.
So funny to me, because we have most people that join these companies, this is marketed off as you can join and you can have another job. You could be a busy mom. You could have a lot of things going on, but you can fit this into your everyday life. But we're starting to insert things for people to do every single day that aren't actually going to be beneficial. And it's honestly going to be a lot of time that they're going to put in with hardly any return. The daily to-do list that I'm hearing that exists, it's not going to do well. That's not self-development. That's literally training you and brainwashing you to function for that company, and that's it.
Then you're going to post on social media based on the content calendar. That's going to be based on 80% your life, 20% the business, right? Because again, you want to bring value to people. If the only value you're bringing is the flash sales that we're having every Friday, that's not enough value. Because if I'm getting annoyed with that and I'm obsessed, eat, breathe, sleep, money, imagine people who are not, right? Then you're going to pay yourself first and do your personal power hour. Okay. And then you're going to do your 10 reach outs in a day. That's all you need to do, guys. I promise you, simple stuff. If you do this every single day, you will make it to SCD. Okay. Another popular question that I get, Liz, how do I get to MM? Like, okay, you guys are going to be disappointed with my answer again. Guys, simple. Okay. You're going to get to MMB yourself, and then you're going to pick 6 people that you bring on board to hit MMB. You need 5,000 points to hit MMB. 6 times 5 is 30. And guess what happens if you're building a new MMB every single month? You're taking advantage of our compensation plan. Guys, our comp plan is not meant to go deep. Okay. Christy and I were just on a call with Ray and Stewart, earlier this week, and they were just reminding us of that. The difference between Jacqueline Ortega, #1 income earner, and every other SCD is that Jackie realized that she had to go wide. Okay. And going wide means building MMB pluses multiple times over. No one is here to be a one-hit wonder. You're not here to make it to MM, to make it to MMM, to director, and then God forbid, something happens, that somebody falls, and then boom, you lose your rank. You know why that happens? Okay, because you're not taking advantage of the comp plan.
Talking about potentially losing teams or people and you completely losing rank, which that has happened. We saw that with WFAB, for example. We just see that in general a lot, where some people will leave and everything completely falls apart. People lose ranks. So she's talking about building wide and having a bunch of people that are MMB, for example, so they're consistently keeping you afloat. But funny how this is, you need to have a bunch of people at specific ranks to keep you afloat. Again, dependency and recruitment. Further my point, you still can have shit fall apart. It doesn't really matter. Anyone can leave at any time and say fuck it. There's no true consistency, independency, and security, mind you, in this. It's a very interesting video to watch right now. And again, it just shows the obsession, the cult mentality, the cult characteristics right now. And it also shows how the ignoring of the lack of actual money that's being made by majority of participants, but the need for a majority of participants, for most people at the top, to make money.
You're not building wide, and you're not building multiple leaders. And how do you do that, guys? It starts at the MMP level, because guess what? MMPs build MMBs, MMBs build MMs, MMs build directors, directors build SCDs, SCDs build MDCs. It's really that simple. So your process, going back to Ray Higdon, has to appeal and be easy enough to understand to the 87%. So yes, I am very serious when I tell you, if you teach people how to hit MMP, you will be SCD in no time, because those MMPs will turn into MMBs. And as you're building wide, multiple MMB lines, guess what's going to happen? Your check is going to go up. Okay. It's not a surprise to anyone that last year we had, it was a bubble of a year. Guys, last March, Miami Roots finished at $9 million. Last April, we finished at 28. Okay. We tripled our business in 30 days. Anyone who sits here and tells me that that's normal has no idea about business. It was a bubble of a year. People were joining because they were at home doing nothing. That's what I mean, that the fish was falling onto the boat and now we have to go fishing for it. You know what else happened? That so many people were pushed into these leadership ranks. And leadership isn't defined the roots that you're building with people, okay? The foundation that you're building. One-hit wonders are gonna get to a rank and never get there again because they have no idea how they got there. You know how you continue being, leader paid as rank multiple months when you're building a strong foundation. And building a strong foundation means calling yourself out on your bullshit. It means stepping outside your comfort zone. It means, analyzing game film, looking at, the month before and saying, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? What can I get better doing? Okay. That's how you build those strong foundations. Okay. Last month, I'll say it, or not last month, last April, I have 5 director lines. All 5 of my director lines re-ranked, and I had over 25 MMB plus lines aside from my 5 directors. Guys, that got me $250,000 check. Okay. Now a year later,
$250,000 check right there. Because of people. Because she has so many fucking people under her. So this woman is making stupid money right now. And I bet you majority of the people, as she's talked about, people that maybe don't know much, people, the 87%. I bet more than that is not making shit compared to her.
I'm still re-ranking SCD. Your girl has not lost paid as SCD this whole time. Now, last month, only 3 of my director lines re-ranked, and I only had 13 MMB pluses. But guess what? I still had more than what I needed. You know why? Because again, I learned that I needed to build wide. MMBs wide. Okay. I learned also that la bolita sube, la bolita baja. Let's say it in English. Lo que sube, baja. This is business. This is business. Okay. Just because I have a year where things weren't, how they were last April doesn't mean I'm going to quit. I'm not going to go look at anything else. You know why? Because my roots and my foundation are so strong, and my belief in this company are so strong that nobody is moving me from here. When I hear people tell me
no one's moving you from the company because you're making so much fucking money, why would you? It's literally, it's a whole different story if somebody, for example, is not making shit and says, I'm leaving the company. But trying to instill that belief when you are on an entirely different level than somebody else is completely gross. Because saying, well, my faith in this company is so deep that that's why I would never leave. No, your money and your paychecks are so massive, why would you? Whereas you go on and the other person, for example, that maybe is like just joined this company or has been busting their ass for a month and is hardly getting anything, they would leave because they're not getting compensated properly. And to me, that is just insane to me how she's even running with this argument. You guys are not in the same boat. You are profiting off of that person that is not doing well, but you want to keep pushing that they need to have a strong mentality and belief in the business when it's benefiting you that they have a strong belief and they don't leave the company. That's it.
Like, when my business fell and my team fell, and I'm like, all I hear is like whine and excuses. And I get it. Look, I'm empathetic, okay? But at the same time, let's say that I owned a restaurant. Let's say that you owned a restaurant, and the restaurant was booming, and this pandemic cost us to close, okay? Are we gonna go back now and say, oh no, I can't, I'm not meant to be in the restaurant business because, look, my booming restaurant failed, so now I have to go look for something else to do. Fuck no. No, you're not. Because you know what? It wasn't your fault that this failed. It was a worldwide pandemic. You know what? So many of us, literally, our checks grew like we had no idea. Our business grew like we had no idea, but it was all circumstantial. It was all because of what was happening in the world. The people that were joining your team, okay, most of them, maybe some of them, I don't know, if you were lucky, a small amount of them didn't have the right mindset. They weren't joining for the right reasons. Therefore, they weren't building strong foundations, which means they left. And let me tell you something, okay? In the almost 3 years I've been with Monet, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people come and go, go and come back, here, there, blah, blah, blah. Every time people have left my team, I have leveled up. I have leveled up because the only people that you're meant to build strong foundations with are the ones that you're able to have those uncomfortable conversations with and let them know, like, hey, listen, you shouldn't be posting Trace and May the day you hit founder, As an example, imagine if Christy would have been like, fuck you, Liz, you know what? Now I don't want to be a part of this, but she didn't. You know what she said? You know what? You're absolutely right. I can see how that wasn't smart. And that's why she is where she is, because she has been able to sit there and, take the criticism when it was needed and level up. So if you guys are, a leader who sits here and doesn't, take criticism well, babe, you're not going to get anywhere, not here in anything. When I learned that I needed to, sit there and evaluate myself and ask myself, like, okay, number one, am I creating a culture that people want to be a part of? That's another thing. Like, what kind of culture are you creating with your team? What kind of team are you creating? Is it people who are dramatic? Is it people who are, always combative, who are always trying to fight you on everything? I don't want anyone like that in my team, and so like literally, we've had some issues with people that have left and they've gone to like, call me everything. They've called me everything from a witch all the way to like, God knows what. They even said my ring was fake. Do you guys think I'm going to lose sleep over someone like that? That is not somebody that I want in my team, literally, right? So ask yourself, if you're sitting here saying like, oh, but I had this big team and my team this and that and blah, blah, blah. Like ask yourself, would you want to build with the people that have left? Because I've asked myself that, and 100% of the time it has been not a no, a fuck no. Hell no. I do not want to build with any of the people that have left. If you've ever been on a leadership call with me, I say this often and people are like, look at me like I'm crazy. Like I like to see people fail. I like to see people, go for something and not reach it, because that's going to determine for me how much, what really they're made of. If Christy's going for...
There's a healthy way of saying this, okay? You can be like, I like when you fail and learn from your mistakes. I think that's a good thing everyone can talk about is I am very happy that I have been able to learn from my past mistakes. That's very important. You need to be able to learn and grow as a person. But it blows my mind because this is almost like a loyalty test for her. This is like a loyalty test of, I want to see you fuck up and I want to see you fail and not do well because I want to know, are you loyal to the end? Are you so loyal that this mess up, whether it's losing money or not doing well in this business, I want to know how loyal you are to me. And that is so alarming because it's one thing if you see a failure and you're like, I'm really proud of you for learning, you're growing, or if somebody failed, they're like, you know what, this isn't good, I'm leaving it. That's great. But the fact that this is literally a loyalty test to her.
Let's say MM, okay? And she finishes the month at 28,500 points. Okay. And she calls me the next day and she's like, you know what? At 10 p.m., the website was acting out and I know I needed only 1,500 points and I thought it was going to happen, but that stupid website, you know what? I don't even know what to tell you. I feel so discouraged. I'm so mad. It's Monat's fault because the website wasn't working and this and that. I'd be like, girl, bye. I don't have time for this. But if she calls me and she tells me, you know what, Liz, lesson learned. Lesson learned because now I know that I don't have to wait until the last day of the month at 10 o'clock at night to be hitting my rank. And you know what?
Hey, here's the problem that we're running into this. This is still victim blaming. This is completely victim blaming because let's just be real here, okay? Shit happens with websites. So what if, for example, with this example that she's talking about, what if the website just shits out and the last bit that she needed was not able to happen because of that? That does happen. So completely blaming her for that, I feel like is so weird. Do you want her to get all of her points in the middle of the week? Most of the time, that's not even possible. Someone can outright say, like, for example, YouTube is not working. I can't get my video up. I don't know how many times that's happened to me. That's not my fault. I had everything ready and good to go. The system's fucking up. And I know that's not like a severe, but all I'm saying is things happen and just completely blaming people instead of just acknowledging that shit happens sometimes is so insane to me. We're naturally training these people inside these groups to blame themselves for something not working or not happening when genuinely it is not their fault. Like, it is entirely set up to not do well. It is entirely set up to where you have to recruit to do well. It is set up to where these people who are able to get up on their platforms or making crazy amounts of money off of you can talk down on you while you're busting your ass benefiting them.
You know what? I was so close, but this makes me even hungrier. Now we know she has what it takes to hit SCD because failure is inevitable. It's going to happen, guys. I have failed a million times and I am not scared to admit it. I can't even tell you, like, literally, I fail every single day. Every single day I do something and I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. Or I could have done that better. And everything in my personal life, in my business, and everything, right? It's inevitable. And if you think that you're not going to fail, my love, you're in for a rude motherfucking awakening. You're going to fail terribly. But remember, leadership is built through the tough times. Again, it's easy to be a leader when everybody's winning. Look, oh, it's like Oprah, market partner over here, market partner over there. Oh, you want a block? Boom, here's a block. It's easy to be a leader when it's like that. But what sets apart the 1%? The ones that, go through the bad times and they say, you know what, I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to learn from this. Okay. So if you guys, and I don't want to, dwell too much on this because lo que pasó, pasó. And I'm not someone who's going to sit here and say like, oh, I did this or I did that. Like what you did yesterday, what you did a year ago, what you did 6 months ago doesn't count. I don't care if you hit MM in a month and a half. I don't care if you hit director in 3 months. I don't care about that. You know what I care about? What you're doing today. What foundation are you building today? What culture are you building today? Okay. Are you building something that people are learning from? Are you building something that people are taking, they have takeaways that tangible things, or are your calls just all the same thing? Are you actually, it's funny because sometimes I know when people get uncomfortable with certain topics, I like to ask them to do calls on it. Like Lynette and Astrid's team, she's an MLM out in Vegas. I knew she was uncomfortable with the comp plan. So guess what I did? Hey, Lynette, you're going to train on the comp plan. She could have told me no, but you know what she did? She learned the comp plan. And guess what? Now she's a comp plan expert. That's exactly what you guys need to do. Whatever makes you uncomfortable, whatever you feel like, weird about, go become an expert in that. Okay. If it's leadership, then let it be leadership. Read some books. John Maxwell has amazing ones. Okay. By the way, quick note on that. I personally believe, by the way, that leadership, obviously you have to evolve into, but self-development is something that everyone, whether it's John Maxwell, whether it's Christy, whether it's me, whether it's Eric Worre, everyone has great content, right? But if you really dissect what we're all telling you the same thing. Believe in yourself, level up, get up and make it happen. So I really do truly believe that true leadership and true self-development lies in doing the shit that you're avoiding because you don't want to do it, because you're scared, because you feel uncomfortable, because you might not know it, because you don't want to look stupid. So remember, every time that you want to become a better leader, do something that makes you uncomfortable. Okay. Go do something that you're like, wow, 6 months ago, I could have never done this. Go screw up royally in whatever you're doing. Like I did with my first client. Okay. Again, I gave her the purple shampoo, guys, as her everyday shampoo. Poor lady. How her hair didn't really fall out from how dry it was, I don't know. I honestly don't know. You know, purple shampoo is really drying, if you guys didn't know. But yeah, true leadership, again, is built through those hard times and failing and just, you know, not giving a fuck.
I don't even like how she's going back. I don't encourage people to royally fuck up like that. I mean, maybe if like you fuck up on your own, right, and it only affects you, all right, whatever. But like, don't encourage people to actively go on uneducated sprees to make money. That is never something you should, wow.
But yeah, true leadership, again, is built through those hard times and failing and just, you know, not giving a fuck that you failed, just getting up every single day and saying, if I did it once, I'm going to do it 10 times over. So again, I don't want to dwell too much, but I know maybe there's some of you in here who have maybe, you know, lost people in your teams. You know, Ray told us something the other day in the director call that was so cool, and I didn't even know. He says that 70% of the people that are in your team are going to leave by the end of the first year. I was like, what? And he is absolutely right. You know, Miami Roots has like 167,000 people, not 500,000, hopefully soon, manifesting that, you know, but they're not all active. We have 25-30% of that active every single month.
167,000 people she has in a fucking downline? Oh my god. Okay, so only 20 to 35% are active? Then why are you counting everyone else? That is a fuck ton of people underneath you, and only a certain amount are active. I think that should speak volumes as well. The success rate, it also should speak volumes on how literally, as long as you just profited and she was able to profit off of you as long as she could, it does not matter.
You know, so what does that tell me? That we need to do a better job at setting that right foundation. Because again, last year, guys, last year was a bubble. Stop living on what happened last year. Anybody was successful last year. So many people, again, grew to ranks that they weren't ready for. Every single rank is going to require something different from you. Mindset, knowledge, stepping outside your comfort zone. What? You think my business is on overdrive or an autopilot? I don't have to do that. Fuck yeah, you do. If I am up every single first of the month at 7 a.m. in the morning, sending good morning messages, sending things, sending this, sending that, what makes you think you don't have to be? Okay. So this is all going to be like, you know, how we go from here on is about building the right foundations. And again, building, oh my God, let's go. Yes. Building that right foundation is going to be based on the habits that you're teaching your team to do. You know, again, the name of my team is Miami Roots. You guys are all part of Miami Roots. I know, I love that everyone's, you know, developed their own team names. I love that. That's exactly what you should be doing. But I did a call the other day about building roots, and I want to share it with you guys again. Okay. So how this name came about was because of a call Jackie and Brittany did. They talked about the redwood sequoia trees and, you know, the redwood forest in Cali. That's the tallest tree in the entire world. They grow tall to be like 300 feet. Okay. Literally, they can't survive alone, guys. The tallest trees in the entire world cannot survive alone. You're never going to see one alone. They're in a little group. And they start building roots. Their roots intertwine one another. They have a community, because guess what? If there's ever a fire, a shortage of light, a shortage of water, and they need nutrients to survive, they count on all those roots that they've intertwined together to continue growing tall together. Okay. So I was rewatching that call, like in an effort to go back to basics. And I was like, that's exactly where Miami Roots came from. And even if, you know, you guys already have your team culture, which again, I love, just remember that where you guys come from, the original, you know, it's Miami Roots, and it was built on literally growing together, growing a community together. Okay. And the only way to grow a real community together is to build a strong foundation that's built on the pillars of like honesty, ethics, doing things right, you know, having the right conversations when you need to have them.
That's ironic considering we are part of a predatory pyramid scheme, in my opinion, that runs on unethical bullshit 24/7. Okay. This is an exceptionally long call that, again, I feel like everyone needs to see. So stay tuned for tomorrow, because there will be a part 2 posted up, because this is absolutely wild. Yeah, so that was it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in the next video. Stay glowing, my beautiful queens. Love you. Bye.